you doing? Okay. Are you feeling good? Show me a sign. Show me a heart or a thumbs up or a smiling face. How are you doing? Great. Yeah. Okay. Nice one. Good. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for taking time off this morning to join us in this exciting event, which we will see master coaches in action. My name is Ajali. You've seen me around, and I'm your MC for this event. We also have Esti. Esti, show a sign who you are. Okay, Esti there. She's our tech manager for this event too. Actually, I want to, before we move on, I would very much like to take an initial group photo. Okay with you guys? So I would appreciate if everyone please put on your camera. Ta-da! Full. We still need full. Ito Hatma. It's not there. Okay, so Esti, over to you. Take a picture of all of us for a start.
Okay. So there are two screens here, so I'm gonna take the first screen first.
Shira, put up the Mac background lah.
Juliana. Oh, she's in the car.
Yeah, city. But it's okay. I think
Okay, let's proceed.
Yeah.
Smile, 1, 2, 3.
Yay.
Okay, hang on. Okay, I'll do the second screen. Smile, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let me check. Yeah. Okay. All good.
Thank you, Esti.
Thank you.
Yeah, intermittently, we will also be taking photos as the other speaker come on board. Okay, thank you so much. For this event today, we have two outstanding master coaches to join us. The first is Coach Pak Daru Dewayanto from Indonesia. Say hi, Daru. There he is.
Hi.
There he is. And the second is Coach Avni Martin from Singapore. Avni will join us about 11:30. She's got a meeting on at the moment, and she will share with us a topic later on. You know, I know you have seen the flyer where we show three coaches in action. I'm very sorry to inform that Coach Dr. Shan, who was originally our third master coach speaker for this event, he has to give it a miss today. Unfortunately, there had been a sad event that happened to his family unexpectedly. So he has to manage that. All right. So today's event will take us from now until about 1 p.m., depending on how exciting, how interactive the group is going to be, right? Moving on, we are very, very proud to inform that these master coaches, all three of them actually attained their coveted title of ICF Master Certified Coach, or MCC, from the Corporate Coach Academy, or CCA, the most established world-class ICF accredited coaching institution in Malaysia. Now, for the benefit of those who are not aware, CCA was founded more than 20 years ago by Dr. Michael Hia, who is also fondly known as the father of coaching in this region. Dr. Mike himself is a veteran master coach, and CCA has an amazing record of having groomed thousands of ICF certified coaches from all walks of life and from all over the world too. Hundreds of them have proceeded actually to be credentialed by ICF in ACC and PCC, simply by applying our own homegrown three-stage model, coaching model, and the 10 milestones in their coaching strategy. All right. The completeness and the intensity of these programs have led to us proudly announce that we have successfully groomed 7 and contributed 7 MCCs to the world coaching community to date. Mind you, out of only a total of 2,000 MCCs in the world ICF statistics, that is slightly less than 1% of it. So we are very, very proud of that. As Malaysian, we share the glory with all of you. Give ourselves a big clap, please. We are very proud. Okay. So all the student coaches in CCA were trained under the expert supervision and close guidance of Dr. Mike and his team of able coach traders and coach mentors. We are most honored this morning to have 2 of them here to showcase their expertise in their talks as part of their giving back efforts to the society. Give them a thumbs up for their generosity. Yes? Thumbs up lah, don't be so kedekut. All right, there you go. So in 2009, Dr. Mike, in his selfless desire to expand the coaching community in Malaysia, he set up a non-profit organization called the Malaysian Association of Certified Coaches, MEC for short, in which Dr. Mike is the honorary chairman. Since then, MEC had been actively growing a vibrant coaching community through various CSR projects. And this year, MEC decided to launch a new historic episode with the advent of the annual National Coach Week, NCW, to align with the government of Malaysia's efforts through HRDC, to show that training and coaching capabilities, they complement each other in building human capital. Living out this mantra throughout this week, MEC is actively promoting free coaching opportunities and holding talks and panel discussions to accelerate this process. Just like this morning, we are privileged to have these incredible master coaches come together to share with us their expertise and experiences on how to elevate our coaching practice in their chosen topics today. Ladies and gentlemen, to kick off the highlight of this week's event, Master Coaches in Action, we are very happy to have Coach Pak Daru Dewayanto with us. Coach Pak Daru, who is currently based in Jakarta, Indonesia, will share with us how AI, artificial intelligence, can optimize your coaching business. Coach Pak Daru is a credentialed ICF Master Certified Coach, as well as an ICE Agile expert in Agile coaching. In 2011, Coach Pak Daru established and founded his first company, Hijrah Coach, which grew to include 27 other firms affiliated to it now. To date, he had trained and certified more than 1,600 coaches in Indonesia, in Hong Kong, Australia, and Qatar, and has more than 5,000 professional coaching hours to his name. Then, like that is not enough, in 2019, he incubated and founded another company called Hade AI, after being a finalist in the world competition events Startup World Cup and Startup Istanbul. Now, Hade AI is a unique company which had infused digital learning using AI in combination with coaching skills to help organizations address personalized learning needs, increase productivity, and its ROI. This brainchild of Coach Pak Daru came from his 30 years exposure in corporate life and in the coaching world. He saw how corporate digital learning can be the solution in today's corporate challenges. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Coach Pak Daru to speak and dialogue with you on this topic, how AI can optimize your coaching business. in the next hour or so. Let's welcome him.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Apa kabar semua?
Bye.
Kabar baik-baik. Thank you for having me. It's an honor for me to be here. Thank you, Mike. I respect Mike so much. When he called me, like, Daru, can you share something to the community? And it's a sin for me to not oblige to Mike. Okay, so today's topic is about how can AI support your coaching business. Everyone knows now AI is coming and coming rapidly, coming very fast. And some of you might not familiar with AI or technology. Some of you might also got scared of this technology that might be possibly, disrupt your profession or your business. But today's topic from me is around how we can optimize this technology to support us as professional coach and to grow our coaching business. So I'm not sure how deep are you understanding AI, but let me just share, high level knowledge about this technology that might be put you into a context on how we can optimize or we can use this technology to support our business. And also, we're not just talking about this technology, but we also have been implementing and developing this technology within our firm to support our coaches and to support our coaching business. Okay. All right. What is AI? Let's just at the beginning talk about AI. What is AI? So AI is intelligent machine that can think, learn, reason, and make decision. But like a human, but not only that, AI with this technology, you can do those things. AI can do those things, but at scale and speed beyond human capacity. There are two types of AI at the moment being implemented in the market, in public. First type is narrow AI or weak AI that is designed and created with specific tasks. So there are rules and there are certain programming that put this AI works, but into a specific task. The other type is general AI or strong AI. This general AI or strong AI can perform beyond any machine that is available right now. So they can learn and they can also make decisions and have intellectual that a human can do. And how does AI works at the moment? We have three sort of like general how AI works. First of all is rule-based AI. So this rule-based AI is designed and programmed based on certain rules. And then they make, or the AI works based on that rules that you set up, right? So if you want to have sort of like a task, like ABC task, when you go A, that means equal something, equals you need to work on something. B and C, this rule-based AI will automatically create that result. And then the other is machine learning. In this machine learning, you can put a better design that is not anymore about the rules, but it's about collecting data and also put algorithm around a certain topic. And then the AI in this machine learning will recognize the pattern for them to make decision or make a prediction or execute something to do action. So machine learning is more advanced. Machine learning is about collecting data and also you don't put the rules, but you put algorithm. And this with this algorithm, it will grow, like it will learn by itself. So AI can learn to make decision or make action based on the pattern that the algorithm set to the AI. And then deep learning. Deep learning is, they call it artificial neural network with the ability to do more, to learn more, and to actually make a decision and think like a human. So we can actually duplicate how human works. When we talk about AI in general, some of you might already got this understanding, like very brief understanding about AI. So in general, what AI can do for you, what is it good for you? The first one is natural language processing, or NLP. This is the feature or the AI technology that in people's mouth right now, like everyone is talking about this. You might also use it. This application is the one at the moment being used, like ChatGPT or GPT. So ChatGPT or GPT is using NLP to basically do answer and question, do probing, and then they collect data and then answer you back with that question that you ask or you send. The other thing is computer vision. We have seen now computer visioning in AI has been utilized in medical imaging. At the moment, medical equipment based on AI that do the scanning, medical imaging scanning, like MRI, or even like ultrasonic. They can, combine with AI to identify if the patient having like cancer or abnormality in their medical condition. So AI could identify certain pattern related to the medical and can come up with the analysis or diagnosis regarding this patient. And the other one is autonomous vehicle, like what Tesla has been doing. So at the moment, the vehicle is having the ability to have self-driven mode that can identify the street or the pattern of the street, including what's have to be considered as alert or warning or even potential accident. So this also we've seen now in our society have been used. Robotics is also now is being implemented to support daily life for manufacturing, for processing, and when you go to manufacture based on AI, robotic AI, they using AI robotic arm to move things, and with training, that robotic can also
Oh ya Allah,
better job, do a better job rather than human to avoid human error, and this is important in manufacturing. And also we've seen and we got exposed by another benefit of AI, which is personalized marketing. Like at the moment, every time you're using social media, our pattern, our behavior is being captured. Some of application and also mobile phone, smartphone is having the ability to capture what you're saying and what application that you open to study your decision on purchasing something. And then you can, when you open like Google or YouTube, certain marketing campaign is suddenly on your screen. So this is what AI have been implemented in our daily life at the moment. Now, what about AI in learning and development? So we, as a coach, we also commonly work and to serve our client to combine with training or learning, mentoring, consulting, combined with our coaching competency. So let's just put into a general understanding how AI is currently used, and some of them is still being researched for the benefit of learning and development. First one is personalized learning, when you can adopt, when you can suggest or even put out the user certain content, certain learning based on their needs, based on their desire, and based on different difficulties that they might require at the moment. So personalized learning will basically serve the user with very with more accurate learning that they need. And in corporate learning, you can add rules into the personalized learning engine based on their KPI or competencies-based target. At the moment, corporate learning have not only KPI like targets, sales target, revenue target, profit target, or even other financial target, but also we know now corporate, especially big corporation or enterprise, is setting a target on competency base, like communication, analytical thinking, design thinking, leadership, those cognitive area becoming a major target for competency base, especially when you want to promote or you want to create succession plan. Predictive analysis is also at the moment available for learning and development, where you can predict, the AI can predict the behavior of your learning and can actually do intervention before the failure is happening. So predictive analysis will see the pattern of your behavior of learning and can make prediction. At the moment, higher education like university in US or Europe has been implementing this AI system or AI feature that can predict the student if they're going to fail by the end of the semester or by the end of the curriculum. and before it happened, AI will recommend, or AI will notice, give a note to the teachers, the lecturers, and also the management. Adaptive learning is about how AI could learn based on your specific personalized requests or competency that you need. Like Netflix or like Spotify at the moment, they understand what is your behavior during using the application, and AI will also create recommendation. Okay, based on this behavior, this is the knowledge that you might want to take, right? This is the competencies that you might need to achieve your certain target. So adaptive learning is something that AI can recommend, can suggest something based on your requirement. At the moment, intelligent tutoring is being researched in all over the world, including Hijrah Coach. We have implementing the first version of intelligence tutoring, which later I'm going to share what we have been created. So intelligence tutoring is AI ability to answer question, to provide tutoring advice or teaching, but not like ChatGPT. ChatGPT is just data searching. Intelligence tutoring is more than that. Is creating how AI will have the engagement ability and also the ability to give guidance or even information that related to their needs or learning needs. And the other one is chatbots. Chatbots is at the moment being used anywhere. Like people has been using chatbot for general application like customer service, like marketing. But chatbot in learning and development is being designed as technology that can assist someone during their learning, just as if someone is there with you, not just you seeing or reading the documents or the PDF or watching the video, but chatbot will have the engagement ability to better assist the user when they are learning. Learning analytics in learning development application is being used to analyze their pattern and behavior, and they can capture it as a big data. And this big data, of course, is important to be seen by the HR, for example, or coaches or trainers to see the result or to see the impact of the learning that they have been created in the application. So learning analytics will be able to provide insights, to provide data with graph on the usage of this application. And this is also very important, of course, because from there, it can lead to the analytics of the ROI, return of investment of the learning. So later I will share why we initiate AI technology in our firm. And that's simply related to the gap or to the needs of our clients to capture ROI. At the moment, we cannot just get the data of ROI when you're doing a coaching in corporate client. Some client of yours might ask, so what is the impact of this coaching? What is the ROI? And you can simply answer that. Talent development is the application, a more specific application to capture all the activity and the performance of the user. And of course, based on this data, also people or HR or company will have the concrete data on the ability of this user to a certain skill or certain job position. And the last one is content creation. At the moment, people is using AI for learning. At the moment, there are companies is using AI for learning. However, the other company that is using e-learning or digital learning without AI, they claim that they're digital or e-learning, but the way to develop the content is still very manual, still human dependence. So content creation or course creation in AI is having the ability for user, for clients to generate as much as content as possible with very low costs. So the keywords of this, if you want to have one word of takeaway out of this, the utilization of AI in learning development is having lower costs to our client. And of course, that's just at the entrance pace. When our clients understand, or corporate clients understand the benefit of learning, some of them will be suggested to a deeper learning that might cost more, but very, very accurately appointed to certain person. And this is important to our clients. All right. I have a question now to you, coaches. By seeing my slides, by looking at this slide and get the brief information about AI and AI in learning development. For you, coaches, you think AI will support you or will disrupt your profession or your business? This is a question that I'm going to ask to you now. And I hope that we can get interaction here. I'm going to stop here for interaction. So you might want to share your thoughts in the chat box, right? And of course, I'm going to invite some of you to share, if you don't mind, to unmute yourself and do this raise hand thing, and we can talk what you have in mind. So I'm going to give you like around 1 minute to type your answer in the chat box, and some of you might want to share. I'm going to take notes, but we're going to wait for the rest to type in their comments on the chat box. Okay, 1 minute starting from now.
Coach Daru, if you don't mind, the question again, I'll type into the chat.
Yeah.
Does AI improve or disrupt your business?
Yeah. Let me just share screen one more time. Okay, if you don't mind, can you elaborate like how can it support you or how can it disrupt you? Elaborate your answer. I hope people is writing now because I haven't seen the result yet. Support in terms of marketing, good advertising. Okay, good. Thanks, Alex. Douglas, support in terms of productivity increase. All right. What else? And if someone wants to raise their hand to share what you're thinking or you're typing, yeah, ada? Belum ada? All right.
I'd like to share, Daru. I think
Sure.
currently for me is I'm not familiar with the tools that
Yeah.
can be used for coaching in AI.
Yeah.
I understand like AI as a general, like when you give examples of Netflix and so forth and shopping pattern, but
Yeah.
I'm just not clear about what are the tools that are used for coaching, especially in an organization. And therefore, on the surface level, it appears not to be supporting because of my own understanding. Like when ChatGPT came out, like I just like type in, should I get a dog if my wife disagreed to it? Please coach me on this. And then it gave a very comprehensive answer that you should look at this angle and that. So that appears to be maybe taking away the business of a coach, or coachee may come with a preconceived answer already to their issue. Yeah, so I think that comes from my own ignorance on the use of AI.
All right, nice. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for sharing. Let me just reserve my comment. Do we have anyone else wants to share? All right, let's just take the elephant to the surface, right? How many of you scared of AI that will, disrupt your coaching profession or coaching business? How many of you? No one's Really, it's scary, like Robocops or Terminator. You don't scare of them?
Transformers.
All right. Okay. How many of you now think that AI can support your coaching profession or coaching business? All right, good. So AI will replace something, that's for sure. AI will replace something. AI will replace certain element on your daily routine job, that's for sure. And that's the ability of AI. AI, in the other hand, could be smarter than you. So AI can help you, but AI could be smarter than you. In certain area, especially in the detail data collection and also repetitive activity. So AI will have that functionality, but AI as general technology, it won't replace you as professional coach. This is my perspective. At least this is my my disclaimer here. At least this might coming from my point of view. At least not for the next 30 to 50 years from now. We don't know how accurate and how personal AI will be in the future, but not until between 30 to 50. I might be wrong because Elon Musk at the moment is creating implant chip on your brain that will duplicate your pattern of thinking.
Salamat. Semoga Allah menjagamu, nak memudahkan urusanmu. Amin. Awas.
But in some of coaching,
If you can mute, those background noise.
But in some of ability to replace professional coach like us, it's at the moment it's not going to be available. So what AI will do to support us as professional coach? Let me just share you what we have at the moment and what we've been doing for the past 3 years. Sorry, let me just share screen. So we created another company within our organization. We call it Hade. Hade is actually coming from the word H and D. H and D. Because our initial company called Hijrah Coach, and H is Hijrah, D is digital, Hijrah Coach Digital. But we call it Hade because it's not just H and D, because Indonesian bahasa pronunciation Hade, but we call it Hade because Hade is also having a meaning in Indonesia. We have a lot of tribes in Indonesia. One of them is Sundanese. And Hade in Sundanese means keren. Tahu keren? You know keren? Keren is like top notch or like very good, like excellent, like awesome. That's Hade. So that's a bit philosophy of Hade. So we want to help with especially business owner, especially coaches with this technology. So go hand in hand with business owners and coaches, not to actually disrupt them. And of course, we want to take this industry, coaching and learning, to the next level. That's why we need to have technology in our life also. Hade is coming from our background. Our main background is of course, coaching background and learning background. We've been in this industry for 12 years, since 2011. And at the moment, we hold a master credential coming from 3 organizations, world organization. First organization is ICF, National Coaching Federation. Second organization is IC Agile, International Consortium for Agile. That's because we understand at the moment with this technology, rapid growth industry in technology, mainly Agile is becoming, like hot topic. Like all organization, corporation wants to transform their company into an Agile company. So we got a license and also to certified Agile coaches, and also we got credential of master level, which they call IC Agile expert in Agile coaching. And the third company that gave us the master level is MyBrain International, based in the UK, that specialize coaching with applied neuroscience approach. We have generated more than 1,600 international certified coaches in 4 countries: Indonesia, Hong Kong, Qatar, and Australia. So this is why we started this idea of having technology. It's of course coming from our main core competencies in coaching, mentoring, and training. But then the idea has been incubated since 2019. And when I claim myself as a coach, let me just stop share for a moment. As a coach, I'm not a programmer, right? I'm not a programmer. I'm not an IT guy, as we all might be. So as non-IT guy, but we are as a coach. Now, usually professional coach is having overconfidence thing happen to their life. So can I, as non-IT programming, develop an AI IT application technology programming? Can I do that as a coach? Of course not, right? But we can just hallucinate that as a coach, we are overconfident, we can create anything. So Hade is actually combining our coaching expertise with AI experts. Within our team, we got 3 AI professors coming from 2 top tiers university in Indonesia. We got AI expert specialized in learning and gamification. And we have AI experts specialized in speech and avatar. So we're not a programmer. We're not a programmer, but as a coach, we got the data. We got experience. We got use case. We call it in technology is use case, because use case in learning and coaching to create a unique technology for public. And this is the idea coming from. The idea is coming from the pain of us as a coach, and coming from the pain of our clients, especially corporate clients. And then we kind of incubate the idea. And from 2019 to now, currently, we have changed minimum 30 use case. So we have changed so much. The idea, minimum 30 use case that we have changed. Why? Because we want to make our use case, our application is based on needs of our clients and our users. And those ideas we started incubate in 2019. We got into we go to the startup competition. We got into finalists of Startup World Cup in Qatar, and also we got into being part of the world finalists in Startup Istanbul. So we incubate the idea starting from 3 years ago. So what is AI that we have developed, and how is it beneficial for coaches? The first one is we created a personalized learning based on AI for personalized marketing tools. What is it about? So our personalized AI tools in our application will provide a learning based on our clients, our user needs, and their behavior. So we created an AI based on conversation learning. So our user that might need topic of learning, right? They want to study something, like for example, they want to study, this is general user, right? Could be corporate user or public. They want to study, like for example, agile project management. Our AI will understand their needs on project management. They might want to input that in our system, or they might want to search based on their needs. Now, when they see a subject or course that based on their needs, our AI will create a conversation-based learning, not just giving them a video or files, PDF files that might not have engagement, that might not have engagement at all. So our learning will provide the ability to create an engagement learning based on conversation. And the way we create this is having AI converter engine that we or our client can upload to our engine a PDF file in version 1 PDF file, but later it could be multiple sources including video and so on. So our user or us as the owner of application can upload it a content, and this could be anything, any content. Is it about any subjects? And then our AI converter will convert into a conversation-based learning, not just one way of learning. Okay, and then of course, when you have the ability to create engaging content, like initial content, this is where we can suggest them to our coach in application. So in our application, there will be coaches who's ready to assist the user if they have more questions, if they have things that AI cannot answer, and they expect more knowledge or guidance or even coaching. So let me just demo this application. All right. Okay, this is our application and it's ready on Android and iOS. The way this application is, created and serve our clients is to provide a simple learning, and this learning is based on conversation, not just you watch video or you reading a file, but based on conversation. I will give you one example on it. For example, this is about when you're having a problem and you want to solve your own problem using these tools, like a fishbone tools. It's just one of the tools. So the AI conversation tools will basically greet you, yeah. And let me just start from beginning. Okay. Okay. And then they will basically greet you. They will give you a brief of the knowledge or learning that you want. And then it will show you a video. Now, this video in our first version is pre-recorded video. Right? And it's explained.
Fishbone diagram atau Ishikawa diagram adalah tools yang Anda dapat gunakan untuk membantu Anda menyelesaikan masalah dan menemukan solusi dari permasalahan yang Anda miliki. Ada 6 langkah.
So when you say done, it will assist you to the next Now, that video, the video that you seen in the application, that video in our lab at the moment is being researched, being replaced by avatar, AI avatar with the understanding of emotional voice cloning, where the intonation and also the pronunciation will be cloned coming from myself, for example, as trainer that will be introduced. And another application of personalized learning is giving the user a quiz or giving user the ability to learn based on gamification. This is one of the area that we also being developed with our partner, is to provide a gamification coming from the document that you uploaded. So when you upload a document, it will automatically create question and answers. And this will study how are you at the moment understand about the subject, the materials, right? And based on this, it will improve your learning satisfaction, because after you've seen the materials, and then we can give you a short quiz based on the document that we uploaded into the system of AI. And in different area, we also develop a conversation-based chatbot. Like, for example, this use case is doing the simulation of interview. Let's see property role director. And this figure, this could be you. This could be you, or could be your assistant trying to ask questions to your user. What specific interview or communication that you can set up with your assistants, with your user or your clients. Okay. When you see this a live AI server that being accessed by our application. So this is depending on the connection, of course, of my mobile phone and my server to the AI server. Hopefully it will works. Okay. This could be you, could be anyone that you can set a figure in this application, right? Okay. Can you tell me more about your experience? I have 20 years experience as director. See, this is a live AI. So and this is not in production yet. This is still in our development server, not launched yet. So what I want to demo here is the ability for the AI to ask question based on the context. Yeah. When you see this kind of simulation, we can design AI to ask a coaching question because they've been at the moment being trained as interviewer, but in the next level, we can set additional rules. Yeah, for example, project initiative. I have successfully meet the target during COVID, for example. So this scenario, like question and answer, is live on AI, but it's not launched yet in still our production. But the way AI will be designed is can be designed based on certain coaching question. Okay, let me stop here. Yeah, so that's the first benefit of our first feature of our AI application. The next feature that we're developing at the moment is, let me just open another slide.
Coach Daru, can I ask the question?
Sure.
When the person type in, like I have 6 years experience and all that, who is the person who answers that? Is it all already automated?
Automated.
That there is a standard reply?
Automated. Like the AI is designed to capture the keywords, important keywords from the reply of the user. And then from the keywords, it will generate another question based on context. We can set a context and we can set a rules. And then it will be formulated into another prompt of question. So this is the type of AI that can generate questions. And we can teach this AI with coaching question. At the moment, it's available to ask question. But of course, we as a coach, we know that coaching question is more than that. It's more than just asking question. Now, why do I share this? It's because our user at the moment, even though we have so many ICF coaches already, right, in Malaysia, in Indonesia, but still there are a lot of people who don't know what is coaching about, right? It is hard work to educate them. It's very hard working to educate them. By giving the taste of question and answer kind of model, we can lead them into the next stage, which is what? Meet the real coach. That we, let me just share another screen 1 second, that we also provided in the application. So in the application, after we give them the taste of learning, give them the taste of question, mini powerful question, and then we promote our coach in the application. So
Yeah,
in the application, we have coaches ready for them to talk.
great.
In the chat, we also can put a link. If you want more, talk to our coach, and then they can actually book the coach right away from the application. Yeah.
Thanks, Daru. Yeah, I can see the value that it can reach out to a wider group of audience. And yet at the same time, there's also that human touch where you connect them with personal coaches.
Yeah. Good. So that's the first benefit of coaching. To be a marketing tools or sales tools, providing the potential user a taste or a taste of learning that we can automate, and then they can actually being exposed with the professional coach, and they select them. So that's feature number 1. The next
Can
feature.
I ask a question, Pak Daru?
Sure.
Does the AI help the
Yeah.
coachee to choose the most suitable coach?
Good. Let me save my answer. Let me go to my next slide first, but I will have the answer for that.
Okay, thank you.
Good question, though. The next feature that we can benefit from AI as a coach is AI learning assistance. So when we talk about digital learning, right? The perception from user of digital learning is you can do it anytime, anywhere. But that creates what? Procrastination. Because in your our user's mental, they can do anytime they want, but they go and do it later. So procrastination is there. AI learning assistants will help them to set up a specific schedule based on their needs. Based on their availability. Like if you're available nighttime, Saturday and Sunday, and like from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., AI will capture your availability, and then they will remind you. Including the reminder is not just for scheduling, but also for specific action plan that is, out from the coaching session. Do you feel at the moment as a coach when your client committed into action plan? Of course, ICF teach us the accountability is fully under our coachee, correct? Correct, right? But What about if there is an application or technology or AI technology that can remind our coachee, they can assist our coachee, they can remind the schedule of their action plan, and also remind us on the schedule of our coaching session that at the moment is manually created, right? At the moment, you're like manually set up your schedule, including your own action plan, including your own development plan for professional coach. So this can be, supported by AI learning assistants. That feature is also being created in our end, in our application. And then the next one is the feature that we created is analytics, prediction, and prevention. So we created a system that will analyze all our clients' activity, all our user activity, including their coaching session with our coaches or with us. So this activity in the application, including learning application, a learning activity in the chatbot, and being assisted by AI assistants, and also being utilized for one-on-one coaching, will be monitored and analyzed in our AI system. So all the clicks, all the timely manner, all the finish the program on time, all the on-time coaching session, all those things will be captured within our AI analytics, including when you want to connect this into our corporate clients' ERP, enterprise resource planning, or database of KPI or their competency-based target. AI analytical will analyze if they can finish the program on time or not, and make a prediction based on their behavior, daily logins, activity in the chat, activity during the coaching. They will make a prediction if this going to be on track on the learning target and from the impact of productivity. And then what? And then create prevention or intervention. The prevention, there are two types of prevention. First one is systemic or AI intervention, where system will be automatically revised and correct or improve the content, the learning content, or it will be sent to HR for human intervention. So the question of can we suggest a very very accurate, or can we recommend accurately which coach is suitable with specific user? Yes, the answer is yes. So we will capture a basic information of user, and then based on their activity in the application, we will study their learning behavior, learning needs, preference, competency, target, and everything. And this activity will lead us to a better recommendation of the content or courses and better recommendation of coaches. And the other feature that we have is to create a white label for our clients. So we have developed this and we have researched this since 3 years ago. We spent a lot of investment developing this technology. And now coaches and also corporate clients, they don't have to create from scratch because they can just white label our application. They can just work with us, and they don't have to pay big investment at upfront. Like they don't have to hire a developer, AI engineer. They just pay monthly rent per user per month. So this is basically beneficial for our corporate clients, because corporate clients at the moment can just benefit the same features without big investment and big research, time-consuming research and development. All right. Insights. 41% of corporate clients at the moment adopting learning. Yeah. So it keeps growing, but at the moment, 41%. 87% executive experiencing a skill gap in the workforce, meaning the leaders at the moment experiencing their team is having a skill gap. Okay. Whereas the team is saying, I want more personalized learning, because the learning that being provided by them, it doesn't suit with their needs, interests, job recommendation, job function, and also job target. So 91% where please understand the gap. The leader is saying team is having skill gap. Employee is saying we don't get a very personalized, specific learning. Of course, we're gonna have gaps if we don't being served with personalized learning. And then employer, the company is saying it is difficult to find a talent. So, and this information gap is not just crucial for leaders, employee, and company. It's crucial for coaches. Coach at the moment is blinded with no data, and they of course, when you are a coach that just doing coaching session, of course this not be relevant. But sometimes before you're being hired by clients, you're being asked, you have to have dialogues, you have to have consultancy, you have to have discussion with our clients how coaching will serve the company. When you don't have data, that means you're not going to perform very well also as a coach. It's going to be just coaching session without like specific impact to the productivity and ROE. 92% company that is using AI at the moment is saying that there is significant business value or improvement. Whereas people who don't use AI at the moment, their cash flow is 20% decline each month. So their 20% each month, their cash flow is declining 20%. Okay, this is my last slide before question and answer. This is what is happening in our lab. We're creating now avatar coach with emotion speech. Meaning what? Meaning we rather than just video, we can create avatar and we can clone you as avatar coach. And this is just the beginning before they selected you in person as professional coach that will assist them in their professional development. And then face and emotional recognition for analytics. When you're coaching or when your user is learning with laptop and mobile phone, smartphone with cameras, we're gonna ask permission to open their cameras, and we will study their face and voice to recognize their emotion. Like, for example, when the camera is open and user is using the learning, the AI will study if they understand, if they being serious, or if they just click without any, without seriousness. Or we can also ask them to talk back to using not just text, but voice, and we can capture the voice emotion where they are right now using the application. Are they in the sad situation? Are they in the excitement situation? And so on. All right, that's my slide. I hope it's not too heavy for you. Yeah, I hope it's benefit you.
So the floor is open for questions. Anyone has any burning questions for Pak Daru? Please unmute yourself and ask. Or clarification. It's a very intriguing subject, huh?
Mine is more of a comment rather than a question. I really want to congratulate you, Coach Daru, for coming up with such a cutting-edge product and service, especially from an Asian country. I think that's really excellent.
Thank you, Coach Nancy. And also our company is very open to work with you. How can we support your coaching business and support your corporate clients with us collaborate? Yeah.
I will be taken note. Thank you so much. So if there are no questions, then we will let Pak Daru off. And before you go off, thank you so much, Pak Daru. What an insightful talk. It is awesome. And I'm still, grappling with all this robotic stuff. But indeed, coaching has come to a new level. And we can see that coaching is entering into a new era that is so exciting for the coaching industries. So thank you so much. But before we can really let you off, we would like to welcome Avni Martin. I think you have joined us, correct? I can see.
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hey, hi, Avni.
Hi. Hello. Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
Hi, Avni.
So now that we
Thanks,
have
Daru.
coaches, oh, Mike, you're there. Oh,
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm in the car.
Yeah.
I'm still listening in.
Okay. All right. So shall we take another photograph before Pak Daru flies back to Indonesia? Esti, you can help out on this?
Yeah. So again, two screen.
Full
Yeah,
screen.
everyone ready? I'll take 2 times, yeah. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hang on. Okay. One more time. Smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, looks good. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daru.
Thank you, Mike.
Coach
Hey,
Daru.
Daru, I'll be in touch with you.
Yes,
On definitely I'll be in touch with you very, very soon.
Yes.
And see how we can work together.
I'm excited to work with you, Mike. I miss you, Mike.
I miss you too as well. Yeah.
Oh
Me
my
too.
gosh.
Like lovers.
Okay, bye now.
All right. So yeah, our second outstanding master coach is here already. She is Coach Avni Martin. She is currently based in Singapore. Avni is an ICF credentialed MCC and is the founder and director of an ICF accredited coach training school. Served as a global director of ICF Coaching Education Board and is a recognized thought leader and speaker with over 22 years of experience in leading change. Now, Avni is also an inner child integration therapist, an NLP master practitioner, a mentor and trainer who develops world-class corporate coaches for leadership and teams internationally. Avni has served as the Director of Research and a board member for ICF Singapore chapter for 6 years, where she led pioneering research for organizational development across Southeast Asia, working with 3 of the largest HR associations in the region and leaders of 1,300 organizations to create awareness, excellence, and advancement of the coaching profession. Prior to her professional coaching career, Avni's corporate career involved accelerating large-scale organizational change at NGA Human Resources and managing leadership development programs at the Vento Group. And having developed the Happy Coach system, Avni now works with leadership teams and organizations to rewrite the past perspectives, unlock present potential, and deliver future possibilities. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are in for a treat as Coach Avni will show us how to handle coaching challenges with confidence using the ICF core competencies. She will share her knowledge and strategies employed in different situations during this interactive session. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Coach Avni with her topic today, how to manage coaching challenges using the core competencies. Over to you, Coach.
Thank you, Lugia. Thank you so much for that such a long and warm introduction. I'm really grateful. And speaking of gratitude, I really want to start off by giving my gratitude to Mike. Mike is my sifu. I've learned so much from Mike. So thank you so much, Mike. And it's so great to see you.
Hey,
How
thanks,
are you?
Jeff. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm so glad and so honored to have you on board. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you for welcoming me and thank you for bringing me here. And I've learned so much from you. Thank you so much. So hi, everyone. Welcome. I would love to start by getting to know you a little bit. So if you can please type in the chat box a little bit about yourself in terms of, where are you in your coaching journey right now? Are you on your way to ACC? Are you on your way to PCC? Or are you already PCC and going beyond? So I'd love to really just get a little feel for who we have in the room right now. And whilst you are typing that, I would also love you to start thinking about your coaching journey so far. And, your key purpose for coaching, of course, I expect it is to really create transformation in people and yourself. So I would love you to start thinking about your coaching journeys and all the coaching sessions you've had. And what are some common challenges that you personally come across? So what are some obstacles? What are some places where you feel like you're going around in circles or not creating breakthroughs or losing connection or losing trust? What are some things that go on for you in your coaching journey? So it's going to be a very interactive session. So welcome everyone. And I'd love you to please type in the chat box. I haven't yet seen any comments coming in. I'd love to just have an idea of who's in the room with us today. You can just type in on the way to ACC, on the way to PCC, or about to join the program, any of those things. Okay. So we've had Felicia saying, I'm on my way to ACC, and Alice completed CPC. Okay. Others, are you all coaches here? How many of you are coaches? All of you? Okay. So everyone, this is really going to be an interactive session. So I would love you to just chip in, unmute your microphones, interact, talk. Okay, so I really welcome that in. Okay, fine. So we have a mixture of people here. Thanks for sharing. So I would love to start by asking you, when you are starting your coaching engagement with a person, from the moment you meet them to creating a connection with them, what exactly, and then after you're creating the connection with them, you're of course creating their purpose, their agreement, their contracts, followed by all the challenges that they are facing, and then you're creating breakthroughs for them. As you're doing this process, what are some common challenges that you come across? If I get a few answers, we can use them. Otherwise, I can share a PowerPoint with you and we can use them as a prompt. And I would still need you to interact. I would still need you to tell me which challenges would you like us to focus on the most, because there are quite a few challenges that come up throughout the coaching cycle. Okay, so do we have anything in the chat box at the moment? Okay. Okay, so if we, okay, somebody has just shared. Thank you very much, Lei. Being sharp in picking up what the coachee is saying and thereafter elevating the coachee. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, being sharp in picking up what the coachee is saying and thereafter elevating the coachee. So when we talk about being sharp, so I would love to see Lei. Lei, where are you?
Yep, over here.
I cannot see you yet, but is your
Coming
camera on?
soon. Yep, I think it's on now.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Hi.
Okay, that's fine. Hi. Okay, so Lei, when we speak about being sharp in picking up what the coachee is saying, so essentially being sharp in picking up what they're saying and what their key challenges are and what exactly they really want to accomplish and how do we then create that breakthrough in them, right? That's basically
right.
what you're referring at, right?
That's right.
So when a coachee speaks, of course, they're speaking at multiple, they're speaking about lots of different things. Sometimes they're very unclear about what they're saying. So really trying to pick up what exactly they're saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Spot on. Yeah.
Spot on. Okay. So one of the things that really helps with, so now I'm going to, because you have not yet shared a very specific context with me, and if you want to, you're very welcome to, but I will answer that first very generically and then see how that question relates to you and applies to you. And then if you have a specific challenge, you can mention that too. So when it comes to a client sharing something with us, quite often they will talk about something that is outside the coaching session. So they might say, hey, Lei, I want to lose some weight, or hey, Lei, I want to have a successful business, or I want to be happier, right? Number one. So these are some generic things like I want to lose weight, or I want to be successful in my business, I want to launch a business, or I want to be happier, or that I want to even make a decision, or I want to decide if I stay with this person or not stay with this person, right? So these are all end outcomes that clients want in their lives, but all of these things that they want in their lives are outside of the coaching session, not inside of the room. So none of these things are going to happen inside of the room, right? A person's not going to lose weight inside of the room. They're not going to be successful in their business inside of the room with you, right? And neither are they going to be, fully happy inside of the room per se, right? So in reference to that, one of the things that really helps, Lei, is to really try and find out, so in reference to you achieving this goal externally, what are some things that will help you decide that? What are some things that will help you make that decision, or that'll help you achieve that? So you want to bring the conversation inside the room. So you want to create clarity on what needs to happen between you and me inside of our conversation that will help you achieve that external goal, right? So one clarity that I always share with people that I work with is to really create this clarity on what happens externally versus what happens internally inside of the coaching session. So you want to bring the conversation down to what happens between us, what are some things that we need to discuss that will help us achieve that goal. So if we look at our PCC markers, so I'm sure most of you are very familiar with PCC markers, the latest PCC markers by ICF. So if we look at the PCC marker from ICF, the marker number 3.4 states exactly that coach explores with the client what the client believes that they need to address or discuss in order for them to achieve their goals. So essentially, we want to ask the client, what are some things that you need to do? What are some things that you and I need to talk about so you can lose that weight? What are some things that we need to explore together so that you can be successful in your business? What are some things that will help you create this decision on which option is right for you, right? And then they will start specifying 1, 2, 3, maybe they might say, or they might just pick up one thing, right? Now, this particular marker 3.4 is absolutely key and fundamental, in my humble opinion, for the success of a coaching session. We can simply touch the marker and move on, right? So we think we've done the job and we've ticked ICF core competencies and move on. Or you can choose to do that marker very thoroughly, right? So I always teach this, that more time you spend with people on really clarifying 3.4 very well, with absolute clarity, as much clarity as possible, more successful your entire coaching session is going to be. So when we start clarifying, what exactly do you need to discuss with me, explore with me, what are some things that you and I need to talk about for us to achieve that, then they might give one answer. Now, going from one answer, we ideally shouldn't take that one answer for at its face value. It's a really good idea to say, okay, that sounds great. So, thanks for sharing that. And please tell me more, right? What else comes to your mind? What else comes to your mind? And ideally, do 3.4 as thoroughly as you can, so that we are now starting to get their mind map. We are starting to get their roadmap, and so are they. So we are also building awareness. So you're also creating, you're also demonstrating strength in some of the awareness markers. So they are becoming aware, you're becoming aware. And once you feel that you've asked that question thoroughly enough, or if they're going around in circles by this point, or if you feel that, they are done at this point, then ideally, it's a really good idea to then come back to 3.1 marker, which is, okay, now that you've shared so many things, what would be your priority for today, right? So that's when you can really fix a session goal priority. So they've given you an external goal, you've turned it into 3.4, you've asked about 3.4, you've got all the things that they need to discuss and deal with in order for them to achieve their goals. And then you are going back to 3.1 one more time to just say, okay, now that you've shared so many things, and if they are really quite big things, which one would be the most important thing for you to discuss today? And then you can also ask them, why do you feel that is important? So why did you pick that? And sometimes that why question seems like a rhetorical question, but actually it creates more clarity for the client to really help you and them understand what's really the heart of it. Why is that the main bottleneck? Or you can ask them questions like, so what impact will it have on you if you could basically focus on this particular one thing that you've picked on, right? So you're basically then demonstrating marker 3.3 in the ICF PCC markers. Yeah. Then when they've explained and shared that with you, you can then talk about, so as you are focusing on achieving this particular goal, session goal, what would success look like? What would you really like to walk away with? And they've told you what they would like to walk away with, right? By this point, after this point. So you've looked at marker 3.2. Then after you want to partnership mode, right? So because we do deep coaching, and to do a kind of coaching where we as coaches are not taking on all the responsibility to drive the coaching session, right? And putting all the responsibility onto them and demonstrating true and deep partnership. You want to get into that partnership. So there are some markers around partnership. I think it's 5.3 or 5.5. I can't remember. I've got my document not open right now. So you want to get into the partnership marker, which is around the coach partners with their client to help them share or determine or explore what needs to happen in the coaching session. So after they've done 3.4, 3.1, 3.3, 3.2, right? You know the session goal. Then after that, we would get into asking them, so how do we go about achieving that? What would be a great process that'll work for you? Right? Then they start sharing a little bit about their process, right? If they come up with a great answer about their process, that's great. But we don't want to get into a mode of automatically giving them a process that we think, because it may not work for them, right? So that's why we are partnering with them. We are leveraging on the client's intelligence. So asking them, what exactly, what would be a great way for us to achieve this specific session goal? How do we go about this? What ideas do you have about this? How do we progress this conversation? And so by doing this, this kind of a process, we are not jumping to any conclusions. We're not assuming anything. We are really using the client's awareness to create a powerful coaching session. And we are developing clients' awareness and our awareness with them. So awareness is emerging with two people in the session together. And we're also not taking on any burden or responsibility that, hey, I need to be a great coach and I need to know things, or I need to drive it, or I need to, come up with the right questions. We don't, right? We can, being a great coach is all about really just knowing what will work for the client and getting that information out of them so that we can use that as a way of providing them the structure that they need for their own self-awareness. Yeah.
Avni, thanks so much for sharing that. I recognize how that generic statement had, resulted in you giving a more broad level overview of it. I think where I was specifically referring to was like in the conversations when the coachee responds to the questions, we as coaches would need to pick out what they are actually saying deep down versus what are they saying superficially. So I think that ability, that sharpness, to be able to pick that out, that there is a disconnect in what they actually want versus what they're saying. I think that's the part that I struggle. I believe it comes to practice, but I'm just wondering, like, how else can I sharpen that tool, to get that sharpness? Yeah. Thanks, Avni.
Thank you for sharing that. And that's a slightly different challenge. Yes. So you're sharing that when a person is sharing something superficially versus what's really going on deep down. Yeah. Okay. So yes, I can share some questions with you on how to do that. Right? Questions that you would have already learned before. Yeah. So like, what's really at the heart of it? If you could really tap. Yeah, so you can ask questions. I can share some generic questions with you that you could use. But B, more importantly, I do believe that it is about the energy that we carry as coaches that can help people relax, build the kind of trust and vulnerability and intimacy that they need so that they can tap into themselves. And it's in our energy. So I'll quickly talk about our energy first, right? If we speak really fast, if we are breathing really fast, if we are stressed out, or if we have too many other things on our mind, and if we are trying to be a good coach and trying to run to solutions, and we are asking questions quite quickly, or it's like a tennis game, if our energy is of that sort, right, and our thought processes are at alpha mode, right? They're not at theta mode. They're not at a deeper level. Our thoughts are not there. Our own brainwaves are not there. Then our energy certainly impacts our clients and it keeps them at a superficial level too. So if we can just take some self-care and breathe deeply, relax ourselves, get into the zone, and do all the other things that are necessary to build that trust and safety with them, then chances are, as I'm doing with you right now, because I'm purposefully speaking slowly, right? And all of you can start to feel your energy relaxing. And with that kind of a pace and tonality, we can build deeper trust, and not just trust, but also we can allow the space for the person to go deeper into themselves, right? So I'm purposefully speaking extremely slowly now, so you can experience the energy that we want to embody to ideally help people just go deeper and deeper into who they really are. Yeah, so that's the energy part of the answer. And then the technical side of it, which is what we say, right? And what we say, and I'm sure you've already learned all of these questions, but essentially it's along the lines of, you know, what's really at the heart of this? If you could tap into your intuition, what would it say? That's one thing. The other thing is I quite often use inner narrative coaching. So inner narrative coaching is all about helping people to get very aware of and clear with all the inner thought processes, all the little chatter and all the language that happens to them about themselves, a situation, a person, or whatever the situation is. Right? So somebody says that I know that I should exercise. I know exactly how to exercise. I even have a personal trainer. I even have a budget. I'm so motivated. All of the above, all the boxes I tick, but I still don't exercise. Right? Now, how many of us here can relate to that, right? Many, many, many people in this world have that, right? We all know exactly what to do, right? But we don't do it. We all know we need to put that phone away so we can spend time with our children and be focused on them, right? And give them all the love and care that they deserve. But all of us are quite often, not all, but many of us are so distracted on the phone. So we all know what to do, but we don't do it. Now, why is that, right? And this is an example of how we can go deeper. It's because our reality absolutely and categorically reflects our thoughts. So if we are thinking something, our reality will automatically relate to it. It's like a mirror, right? So if the fact is that if we're not exercising and if we're not being focused on kids, the fact is there's something going on in our mind that is categorically giving us the message to not do those things. As I can absolutely guarantee that, right? Time and time again, with all my coaching sessions and all the experience, it has always been true that when somebody's actions do not follow their purpose, when their actions don't reflect what the desire is or what their intention is, something is going on with their perception. And I'll just share a very quick slide here for you in reference to that. So it will just visually help you see, but I'm not planning to share any slides as such today. So you can all see the slide right now, right? The happy thing. This is the system, proprietary system that I've created. So we have, let me just get a laser pointer out quickly. Okay. So this is basically saying that we need to have an alignment in all of these aspects. So if our actions are not in line with our purpose or our stated purpose, there is something in the way. And what's in the way is our perception, is our thinking, our inner mindset, our inner narrative, right? So one way to go very, very deeply and create phenomenal breakthroughs in people is to help people slow down and start to look at what's really happening for you just before you go for exercise. What is that inner voice that talks to you? If it could have a voice, what would it say? Or if they say, I just end up being angry. I know I shouldn't be angry with my child or whoever it is, my husband or wife, but I just explode. In its 0 to 60 seconds, I explode. I don't want to explode. And I know I don't. I know it's not going to create a great relationship for the rest of my life with this person. However, I don't know what happens, but something just happens. Kaboom, right? So that means their action is out of their control. They don't have any control over their actions, right? We don't have any control over our behavior in this moment. But they know that that behavior is not in line with, there is no alignment with what they really want in life. And so what's in the way is this perception, right? So this is the happy coaching system. And so we basically want to help them create clarity in their perception. So what are some thoughts, feelings, inner narratives, inner voices that happen for you just before you get angry? And they will say, in the beginning, they'll say, I don't know, they just do all of these blah, blah, blah things. And they just like, I don't even know what happens. I just explode, right? In the beginning, that's where their awareness will be, for sure, right? No one's going to give us an answer on a silver platter. That's fine. But we just say, okay, that's a great start that you don't know right now. I understand that, right? But for sure, something is happening for you that's so fast that you don't know right now. And then that leads to a certain action that you don't desire. So how helpful would it be for you? So this is where you're partnering with them. How helpful would it be for you if we could just slow down your thought processes and look at what really happens for you deep inside, all the little thoughts that go through your mind deep inside just before you explode, or just before you don't go to the exercise, or just before you turn that alarm off. How do you see this? So it's about really just diagnosing, and not diagnosing, but it's about really helping them hear, listen to their own perceptions, right? And so this is it. So you don't need to look at the rest of it, but this is all about creating an awareness around their own perspectives and mindset, and then asking them, because when that happens, and when that's on the table and people start writing down that, oh, what I really say to myself is that gym is for losers. If I'm really want to exercise, I should be doing something like, running or martial arts or something. And gym is not really something I want. Or eating healthily is like, oh, I don't want to starve myself. So for them, there is an equation in their head. Healthy eating is starving yourself. Gym is for losers. Now, these are flippant statements that people say. Yeah, just casual statements they say. But actually, they believe in those statements. And actually, those statements actually have a subconscious impact on their actions. Like they say, be careful what you say because you're listening, right? Be careful what you say to yourself because your subconscious is listening. So essentially, to speed this up a little bit, essentially get clearer about people's inner narratives, help them slow down, help them get clear about what's happening deep inside them, and then looking at which part of how is this impacting your actions and how can you rewrite this? If you could rewrite your thoughts, what would they need to be for you to be fully in action? And so they start writing that down, or they start talking to you about it. And essentially what you're doing is creating new neurology in their brain about it, right? New ways of thinking, new ideas. And then you're feeding that by looking at, okay, so what then needs to happen for you to really feed this? Yeah. So you're basically creating new seeds. It's like our rainforest is full of weeds, but then we are now starting to see what the weeds are and saying, okay, if we could replace those weeds with some other beautiful fruits, mangoes or rambutans or whatever fruits you like, pineapples, let's seed the right seeds in place and let's start growing those seeds. How will that be? Right? And so they're then rewriting their thought processes. That I used to think that gym is for losers, but actually gym is a very practical solution because come rain or sunshine, I can still do what I need to do. And this is for me to tick. This is for me to have consistency, and consistency is important, right? For some people, they even think that, whilst they will tell you on the face that I really need to be consistent, and the coaching session is all about I really need to be consistent. Honestly, deep inside, consistency isn't usually their priority, meaning that they have a statement in their mind that categorically compromises consistency. So when you go deep into the subconscious, and when they go deep into the subconscious, you will find some inner narrative where they are compromising their consistency, where deep inside they believe, it's all right, it's all right, some other time, not for me today, deep inside. Now, it's that what's driving the real behavior. It's our subconscious. Yeah, 95% of who we are is our subconscious. So it's our subconscious that's driving our behavior, not our conscious mind. Our conscious mind is just this, one layer of the operating system. Really, it's a slave to the subconscious. Master is the subconscious. So we want to work with the master, who is our subconscious, and create breakthroughs there for them. I hope that answers your question. I know I went very thoroughly and very deeply, and I only answered one so far, but I just think that something like this will create power and benefit for everyone, no matter what topics come up for you. Okay, so let's have a quick look at, and thank you very much. And I hope that answers your question, Lei. Okay. So let's have a quick look at up on the top, starting from where. Can somebody please read out the next question that came up? Challenge in creating aha moment for the coachee. So Alice, I hope that this conversation already answers that for you. If you can just unmute yourself and say yes or no. If you still want to discuss it, let me know. So Alice, I'd love your feedback on that.
Yep. The aha moment, I think it links into what you talk about, what's really important to them, to the coachee. I just feel that sometimes the conversation goes in circle. They already done their homework. They have done all the things, all the thought process. So I find a challenge to be able to bring the aha moment in a coaching conversation.
Yeah, so you shared a few things there. So aha moment in the coaching conversation, I fully understand. And you shared something about they've already done their homework. So how does that relate to the aha moment?
Meaning whatever that we, in a coaching conversation, whatever we discover may not be so aha to them because they have thought about it. So how I link it to what you have shared earlier is what they say they will do, but they don't do it. So I think you have responded to a certain extent. Thank you for that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you. So basically, when they say they're going to do something, but then they don't do it, right? Then how do we then create breakthroughs, right? Yeah, and I think that is answered here, right? What we just discussed. Because coaching, I feel like the true power of coaching begins when we know what to do and we don't do it. And that's where the real power of deep coaching comes in. Yes, coaching is also about knowing what to do, but once that's out of the way, and that is a relatively, I would say, I don't know, solution-driven, action-oriented style of coaching. And once that is done and dusted, if people still don't do what they want to do, and quite often coaching sessions begin with that I know exactly what to do and I don't do it. But yeah, that's where the inner narrative coaching, working with people at a deep subconscious level to really look at what's happening deep inside and rewriting that, creating new possibilities there, and asking what's really happening deep inside you when this happens, what needs to happen instead. How is this way of thinking and feeling and perceiving and believing really helping you, or what impact is it having on you, right? So what impact is saying that dieting is all about eating lettuce, for example? People have these ideas, the gym is for losers, for example. These are just some typical things that people have said to me in the past about losing weight. So what impact is that really having on you and your motivation, right, etc.? And they will definitely come up and say that, well, it's just like, really, it's not helping me. Okay, instead, what will be an empowering or a completely different way of thinking about this, right? When people are consistent in their exercise, what sentences do you think they have in their mind, right? And they will say, oh, they are probably thinking this. Okay, so what would it take for you to adopt to that, and what impact would that have on you, right? So going for that. So I think your question is, I hope, answered. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you to both of you and Lei for sharing powerful questions there. Then we have developing our skills in asking powerful questions and filtering their meanings. Okay, we can come back to that, John, and clarify what you mean there. One challenge is coachee opens up, then retreats, then opens up. Cycle, it's a human behavior when we feel too vulnerable. Yep, okay, we can talk about that. Yep. A company asked staff to be coached. Staff then replied to coach, I have no issue or challenge at the moment that I cannot sort out. Then the coach, what then the coach needs to do? Tell the company no coaching necessary. Okay, I've had exactly that happen to me a few times. So we'll talk about that as well. Okay. And I'll just quickly scan through any other questions so we can take an umbrella perspective and see what else comes up. Okay, fine. All right. Where can you read up more about the Happy Coaching System? Very soon, I'll be publishing a book on it in 2024. You can all, come to my book launch party. Penguin publishers have asked me to write a book on the Happy Coaching System, and I'm putting all of my coach training and many things, everything that I ever know into it. And even a lot of my inner child work is going to go into that. So but anyway, if you want to read up more about it, you can just go to my website or contact me. Actually, it's on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, if you scroll through some of my main posts shared, there is some stuff about Happy System there too. Okay, so let's go through the questions right now. One challenge is coaching opens up and then retreats and opens up and retreats. Okay, so Nancy, for that one would be simply using our competency, the old competencies of direct communication, to just give them that feedback, right? So with permission, so that would it be okay for you if I can just share some feedback or observations? And then you state the positive purpose for it, that the reason for doing this is so that you can have the best breakthroughs possible in our journey together. And then, yes, you can follow the full structure that you've already learned by giving them something positive that I can see how committed you are to creating breakthroughs, and you're coming to the sessions consistently. And at the same time, there is one particular behavior that I've noticed, which is that I feel that you open up and then you retreat. You open up and then you retreat. And let me give you one example of that, or two examples of that, because they may not know what you mean by open up and retreat. Open up and retreat. They may not understand that. So I would actually be very objective about what do you define as open up and what do you define as retreat, right? So again, I am not speaking to you right now. I mean, but if you want, you can share, because what does open up actually mean in a real behavioral term inside a session, and what does retreat mean? But whatever it means, if you feel that that behavior is not helping, you can give that feedback to say that what I'm noticing is this behavior, and then this behavior, then this behavior, and then this behavior. And the impact of that, I feel, is that we're not able to progress as fast as we could or as deep as we could, right? So I just wanted to give that back to you. I would like, so you would just say this to them. I would want to give that to you and ask you for your feedback on this as to what do you think? Why do you feel, do you relate to this? Do you notice it yourself? Do you know why it's happening? And then that could create a deeper awareness for them, and they might turn around and say that, yes, I find it difficult to be vulnerable because in the past I've been vulnerable and people have used it against me, or that I don't really feel comfortable being vulnerable, right? And then you can further ask, would it be okay for you to share what the real reason for that is? If you were vulnerable, fully vulnerable, what's the worst that can happen? What's the best that can happen? Right? What's the worst thing that can happen to you if you are fully vulnerable? And they might say that, well, I might break down and cry, or I might look really bad, I might feel really unprofessional, or there is this image that I try to keep up of being an amazing person or whatever, and I feel like that image will be broken. And I mean, they may not give it all to us, by the way, in a silver platter like this. Yeah, clients normally work slowly, much slower than that. But in between the lines, slowly but surely, they are likely, when people have issues with vulnerability, they're likely to come up with something like that. Either their trust is broken in the past, or or they just have this feeling of needing to and they have that issue. And then you can ask them that, okay, what would it take for us to truly put that aside? Who do you need me to be as a coach? Or what can I say to really support you in this? And you can anyway come up and say whatever you feel like you need to say to help them, right? Like, this is truly a safe space. This is truly a space of no judgment. Many of the things that you've gone through, I have previously myself gone through the same things and much worse. And we can build ourselves, we can rise, and we can really create amazing breakthroughs. I can absolutely assure you of that. So this is a safe space, and I've worked with many people in this, and everything you say is confidential. So just bring back all the trust and confidentiality and all the safety there if needed. This is only if needed. And then really request them to ask them, what else do you need from me for you to be fully vulnerable? Right? And yeah, so typically opening up, retreating is a sign of not wanting to be vulnerable. And, you know, I've been there myself. I've been in sessions where I don't want to be vulnerable, right? And then that has created a block in my progress. And then I finally became vulnerable, finally said the truth about all the things that I need to work on. And then that finally created breakthroughs for me. So, you know, the journey to vulnerability, the journey to trust is quite a deep one. And so we can support people, hold their hands, and lovingly supporting them to create that environment of doing that, being able to be vulnerable.
Thank
Nancy,
you,
does that
Avni.
answer your
Appreciate
question?
it. Yes, very much. Thanks, Avni.
Sure, thank you very much. So then we have a company asks the staff to be coached, then the company asks the staff to be coached, and the staff reply to the coach, I have no issues or challenges at the moment, I cannot sort out myself. Then what then can the coach do? Tell the company that no coaching is necessary? Okay. So when you typically start doing corporate coaching, yes, you do find this. This is a common challenge that I face myself, and I've heard many of my clients face the same thing, that because essentially the client hasn't chosen to be coached, right? The company has chosen for the client to be coached. So when the company has chosen, so you can put yourself in the shoes of the client. So right now I can see Douglas and Estee on the screen, right? Now, if Douglas is working for a company, Estee is working for a company, and your HR says, okay, you're going to be coached, right? But then you might feel very defensive. And some people still have this whole idea in their mindset that coaching is a remedial tool, something is wrong with me, that's why I'm getting coached. They don't have the completely positive perception of coaching that, hey, I'm so special, which is why they're investing in me to be coached, right? So they don't have that contrast that, hey, I'm so special and I'm high potential in this company, and which is why they're investing in me to get a coach. They don't see that as a prestige symbol. They are seeing that as a remedial tool, that, oh no, something is wrong. So it's because they have that perception, quite often they will start being very defensive that, oh, I don't have anything to be coached on. Because the truth is, I think every single human being, nobody, no exceptions, can get coached. I'm sure even Dalai Lama can get coached, and I'm sure, you know, Barack Obama can get coached, and probably does get coached, right? So all of us can get coached, and I get coaching sessions as often as I possibly ever can. You know, as much as time permits, I invest in coaching sessions because it's powerful. So we can all get coached, but of course, I feel like I'd love you to come in. So whoever raised the question, if you want to share a bit about it, I would love you to. Otherwise, I'll continue because I'm making some assumptions about this person, this potential client. So I thought, if you want to talk about it, you're welcome to come in. Whoever wrote that in the chat box, it was messaged directly to me privately. So, okay, doesn't matter. I'll continue. So a client may have a wrong perception about coaching, or for example, they may not even understand what coaching is in the first place, or they may have a slightly negative perception about coaching, why they don't want to be coached, or they don't want to look vulnerable to their employers, and they are kind of refusing, or they have, this feeling that I'm absolutely perfect, and if I get coached, then I am accepting that I'm not perfect, right? And so they may have an issue with that. So the easiest way to handle that is really for us to do all it takes to give them the right information, that coaching is a valuable tool. Absolutely anyone can get coached. What exactly is coaching? How, and we can help them shift their perspectives on coaching and say things like that, look, 10 years ago, research was done about the perception of coaching in organizations. And at that time, just 18% of the people viewed coaching as positive and a prestige symbol. Now, the same research is done, okay, and 77% of organizations and organizational leaders perceive coaching as a prestige symbol and invaluable. So the perception of coaching has really shifted, and the trend is that coaching is starting to get extremely valued by people and is becoming a prestige symbol. So it's no longer something is wrong and that's why I'm getting coached. It's more a case of I am amazing and I can be even more amazing, and that's why I'm getting coached. So you can just share with them that, look, the perception of coaching has changed. It is changing. That is a rising trend. And essentially, in between the lines, you are helping your client create that awareness of shifting their perspectives. Now, that's just one thing you can do, and you can do that fairly quickly. The second thing you can do is let them know what exactly is coaching, how does it really work behind the scenes, what makes it powerful. That is a way of really looking at who you are deep inside. How do you relate to yourself? How do you relate to others? What are some of our inner narratives and subconscious thought processes? And how do we create a shift in that? And so that it transforms our behavior. If our thoughts are transformed, our behaviors will get transformed and our outcomes will be transformed. So sharing that with them so that they get a bit more of an idea of what kind of things they can maybe bring to the table. And look, if that also, and then encouraging them to share some thoughts on, different areas that they might want to be coached on. If that doesn't work, we can ask them, okay, what are all the things that are working for you? What are all the things that are not working for you? Where do you feel is your next level of growth? Where could be your next challenge? How could you really step up in your leadership? And, how can I support you in that? What are some ways, what are some behaviors that you would love to have in a boardroom or at your workplace, whatever you do, and that we can help you with? Now, this is to figure out this is to help them figure out what areas they want to be coached on, because the question on the table is that they believe they've got nothing to be coached on, right? And then how do we help them? Do we tell the company there is no coaching necessary? And then one of the last tools is looking at, how comfortable do you feel if we look at some of your performance reports or profiling reports, and how about we just go through that and look at your aspirations of where you want to be and see where the gaps are. So essentially, you want to help them understand where are their gaps in their professional growth, right? So just kind of helping them reframe the whole idea of coaching, that coaching isn't all about where are holes in my, that's one way of looking at it. Where are the holes in my fabric or my being or my working life now or personal life now? That's one way of looking at it. But the other way of looking at that, a complete reframe, is that, it's not about the holes, it's about where's my next level of growth. So where is the gap? Right? One perspective is, where are the holes? Hey, I don't have any holes. Somebody might think and feel, okay, that's fine. You don't. You're perfect just the way you are. But so now taking it further, and where are the gaps? Where is your next level of growth? Who could you be? If you could really be the best version of you, who is that? and helping them just create that gap and start visualizing that gap and then start talking about it. And then you could be the coach that helps you through that. So these are just some ways. So I hope whoever asked me that question, it answers your question. Okay, so I'll take a moment to just breathe and rest for a minute. I'd like you to unmute yourselves and share with me, how is this conversation going for you so far? And what are some other questions that come your way? So just take a moment to absorb all the thoughts that are occurring for you right now. So we'll just take a moment to breathe and relax. How is this conversation going for you so far? Is it supporting you? Is it helping you? Are we discussing the right stuff that is on your mind? I'd like some input from you.
Yes, for me, because you answered my question. So I thank you for that. And I would say that I'm inspired after, as you speak through this. And at the back of my head, I'm thinking, how can I get to Avni's level of, being having such profound thoughts, being that kind of coach. So that's just going on in my head. Yeah.
Thank you, Lei. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing that. And others, please don't be shy. Just unmute yourselves. We are living this virtual world of total disconnections. You are all pixelated people on my screen. So come on, we're all humans. Come on board and just say hello.
Hi, Avni.
Hi, Avni.
Hi, Lily. Hi, Manu. Well, no, Lily first.
Okay, ladies first.
Yes.
I'm actually pretty new here. I'm thinking of signing off the course from Mac. So, but anyway, lately I'm a personal finance coach. Actually, I'm in the financial industry. I'm serving in the financial industry. So I'm kind of come to a dead end kind of situation that I kind of confused how to coach people. I think to the question that you have mentioned just now, all the questions that you ask the client, it helps a lot actually, because I come to a point that I feel like I more give more instruction instead of to understand the person, what are they going through. So it helped me a lot. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Lily. And you shared a little bit about where you are and what are you confused about. So if I may just tap into that, like what are you, if you have a question there, what are you confused about, if at all you have a question?
Sorry, again, your question?
So you said something like there is something that you're confused about in your journey.
Yeah.
Right? So what are you confused about? I didn't get clarity on that. It's okay, never mind.
I think probably confused about my own strength.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah.
As a coach.
Yeah, and it just after being a mom since 2020, so my confidence level dropped tremendously. I think also because of MCO and my health issue. So yeah, it affected me quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Lily, thank you for sharing.
Welcome.
Yeah, I think when we are in transition, motherhood right? It's a different hat that we're wearing completely. I've been there and I've been confused and lost my confidence. I can absolutely assure you 110%. I lost all my confidence at one point. And I went through a similar journey of not knowing who I am, what I am, where I'm going, you know, what my strengths are, where do I want to go, all of that, right? So I really completely relate to that. And I specifically asked you because you said you are into the financials industry and you're also becoming a coach. And I happen to know an amazing guy. His name is Eugene Sia. He's a really good friend of mine. He's a coach. He's into financial industry. And so if you, and you know, he's done a lot of transitions, and I don't know, instinctively, I often tap into my instincts. And instinctively, I felt like if you want to connect with this wonderful man, he's in Singapore. I just think instinctively, I just feel like if you want to connect, then he might be a good resource because he's also a financial consultant and a coach.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think he's having some online meetings for whatever reason, some things, you know, so you can always join and get to know him, you know. And anyway, I just thought it might.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know why that person came to my mind all of a sudden, but nonetheless. But anyway, I just felt something in your voice and I just thought I'll ask, but thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing too.
Okay. Yes, Manu, you were about to say something before.
Yeah. Good morning, Avni. And I think I'm lucky enough to join, but it was a little late. So I'm feeling very, enriched to listen to your experiences. I'm based out of Mumbai and I'm ACC coach. So I do practice, I have one very basic question. I think a couple of colleagues have already asked this question, but maybe if you can throw a bit more light on that. So when we do coaching, sometimes or maybe I think most of the time we feel that it is becoming very, very transactional, right? The client is not opening up, and even though we go to the competencies and there is a presence, there is a lot of listening happening, but there is something which is a miss where as a coach, at least I realize that I have not been able to catch that, feeling or word, or maybe I have not been able to ask that right question to make it transformative. Because at the end of the day, my feeling says that it has to be a kind of, when client moves out of that session, he should be taking some feelings or experiences which is making him think. I mean, that is what I see as a success of a coach. So what are the things where we should be conscious of, or to make it a little more transformative?
Yeah,
I hope
thanks
I'm able to clarify that.
Yeah, I hear you, that your desire is that a person walks away with awareness and some deep thought, and what are some ways in which we can achieve that, right? I hear you there. So before I answer your question, can I just check? You said you came in a little bit later. So did you, how much of the beginning did you not catch? Because right at the first half of our conversation, when Lay asked a question, that's exactly what we answered, pretty much. So if you missed it?
I think it's just 25-30 minutes since I have joined because I saw the message late. My apologies.
Yeah. So in that case, I will not right now answer that question. What I will request you to do is listen to the recording again and catch up on that, right? And I believe that's pretty much what I answered, right? How do you really create deep breakthroughs in people? That is exactly what we answered. So go through the recording, please. It's fully available to everybody. And see, after listening to the recording, if you have any questions, you're welcome to message me on LinkedIn. I think there is only one Avni Martin on LinkedIn, so it won't be too confusing of which one, So just message me on LinkedIn, connect there. If you still have a question, you're welcome to. Yeah.
Sure. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And welcome. Hey, Johnny, I just saw you. How are you, Johnny? Johnny is a friend from another group.
Hi, Avni. Great meeting you. Sorry, I've joined late because I had some sessions.
That's all right, Johnny. Welcome in. Some familiar faces. Others. And I know we have some question on here. So I just want to double check. So I do have the time. I didn't have any back-to-back meetings. So if anyone, say, I don't know, what time is our session supposed to end? Can I just check in with Lou, Chia?
Hi.
How much more time do we have?
You can do up to another 15 minutes if you want to.
That's if people want to. Okay, I'm coaching, not yet a coach. How is it going to help if I'm currently a trainer? And what are the target audience groups who will usually need coaching? Possible to do a quick coaching 101 for people like me to understand more. Jackson, I'd love you to unmute yourself, add a little bit of context to what you're saying. So how is coaching going to help if I'm currently a trainer? There are ways of interpreting that question. So I just wanted to understand what you really mean by that. And what target audience groups, what are the target audience groups who will usually need coaching? There could be many of them. So again, I'd love to hear your context of the question, and possible to do a quick one-on-one for people like me to understand more. Again, I'd love to hear your context. What exactly do you mean by each of those questions before I assume what you might mean?
Hi,
Jackson,
Avni. Hey,
hi.
Sorry, I couldn't turn on my cam because I was in the meeting. So, I just wanted to know more about the coaching, this coaching profession, because I'm currently a trainer, but it's just on a specific knowledge I'm working on as a practitioner. So I just wonder, because technology is advancing so fast, maybe one day the skills that I'm good at may not be relevant anymore. So how this coaching can kind of future-proof my skill set in a way, and also what is a potential future for this coaching? If I were to devote my full time to this, so what could be the possibilities there, etc. Yeah, just want to understand more about this. But regarding the coaching 101, that one is just a basic walkthrough about how coaching has been working for you, and probably how it can benefit people like us.
Yeah. Okay. So Jackson, thanks for sharing. So I'm hearing that you're a trainer and you really want to see how can coaching add value to it, and how can you, with the world changing and technology coming in, how can you still keep your skills relevant, and how can you use coaching to deepen what you do? So did I understand your question? Yeah.
Yep. Correct.
Okay. So Jackson, can I just check, what do you train about? What is the topic of training that you deliver?
I mainly train about SEO and also content strategy and etc. Yeah.
Sorry, SEO and
content strategies.
Yeah.
It's more on the digital marketing side. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So of course, there is a lot of technicality to what you do, but there is so much room for coaching in what you do there, right? So at the moment, how much coaching are you using in the work that you do and deliver, in terms of a percentage?
You mean in my full-time job right now?
I suppose, yeah, if it's a full-time job, yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm doing coaching correctly, but yeah, I do handle a lot of people problems, and they will usually come to me for advice and etc. So I will just give comment or advice, and I also do monitor their performance from time to time and try to chip in and give advice on how they can improve their performance, etc. But I don't think I'm doing coaching right now.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No, I meant more specifically, because your question is more specific about you as a trainer. So so does it mean that you have a full-time job and you're also doing training on the side?
Yeah, training is kind of like my the ambition that I want to be in. Because I cannot do practitioner for the entire life. So at some point I want to be like a consultant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are in a full-time job, you're doing some level of coaching there, a little bit here and there, but at the same time, your main ambition is to develop yourself as a trainer, and you're wondering how you can bring coaching into it, make your training even more relevant and technology proof. So where can you really bring in that human touch as a coach, right, to deepen your training?
Yep.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. So in reference to that, I would say that the work that you do in terms of SEO and content strategy, yes, there is a very technical side of it, which is your expertise, right? Where you're wearing a consultant's hat, where you know stuff. Yeah, you're the trainer, you're the consultant, right? You can be the mentor, you know what to do. And so this is where you're wearing that hat, and perfectly okay to wear that hat and then also put on the hat of coaching. Because when it comes to content strategy, and when it comes to SEO, you want to get the right keywords from a person, whilst you will direct and support them as a consultant to know what the right keywords potentially could be based on your data and research that you will do in the marketplace. But as far as your client is concerned, whoever you're helping, whether it's a restaurant or whether it's an insurance company or whoever you're doing SEO for, you want to help them get deep into their value added proposition. Like, what's the value that they bring to the people? So if people get insurance with this person versus that person, right, another competitor, if Juliana is an insurance agent, if we go to Juliana for insurance, what extra value does Juliana specifically bring or can bring that somebody else doesn't bring? So what's a value added proposition? What is the real heart? What is the real purpose? What is the difference that this person's profession makes? So all of those things could really tap into some deep coaching style questions. And also when it comes to content strategy, whilst content strategy can be a dry piece of work, dry business, but it can also be very, very deep, right? To really understand the heart and soul of somebody's message, their purpose, their intent, the value that they bring, right? And helping them craft that message in a way that really appeals to the target audience. So there could be potential for you as a trainer to bring in coaching skills. So you could create some powerful coaching session questions inside of your training. So you could create a powerful, because as a trainer, the best you can do to bring coaching in is to do group coaching. So when I train people to become coaches, I basically do very much use coaching skills for that. So I conduct my sessions like a coach. So I'm constantly coaching people as I'm training. So you could create some deep questions rather than give them all the answers. You could create some very deep questions and let them explore it, let them create their awareness and let them figure out what works for them. So you could bring in group coaching skills inside of your training. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, this one is more about how I can adapt or adopt coaching skill into my training and potentially make my training more valuable to people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you asked the second question, what are the target audience groups who will usually need coaching? I didn't understand that question, because on one hand, the question is very straightforward. What are the target audience groups? And on the other hand, my answer is, well, everybody in the world can benefit from coaching. So what exactly do you mean by that question?
Yeah, I think this question, I probably have the answer already, because it applies to all people from all walks of life. As long as you are a human, then you will have a potential need for being coached. I mean, regardless of whether you are a professional or in terms of personal, right?
Yeah. And at the same time, since your main expertise sounds like it is SEO and content strategy, some of the target audience, I suppose, I just thought of it just now, would be potentially business owners, right? So small business owners, medium business owners who don't have the idea or the foggiest clue of where to begin SEO or where to begin content strategy. You could be that person who bridges that gap for them to help them deliver their dreams, essentially, from a social media strategy perspective. And yeah, right?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Avni.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. Yeah, and if you are really good at social media strategy and content marketing, get in touch with me, Jackson. I can learn quite a lot from you as well. If you're ever doing a webinar or workshop, I'll be happy to but I'm actually looking for somebody who can specifically work on that, so that I can hire to do that work for me. Okay, so fine.
Are there any more
Others?
questions? Yeah, any more questions? One last question, if any.
I just saw one of my friends pop into the session. Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, hi, Avni.
Hi, hi, how are you doing? Welcome.
I'm good, I'm good. Sorry, I'm late. I just finished off and I joined in.
Good to see you after a long time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So, Avni, you want to close it?
If anyone has another question, I'm happy to take it. Otherwise, we can close it. Are all questions answered so far on the chat box?
Actually, I just have one final one. Since there's no further questions, Avni, perhaps just to close it off, right? Do you have some? Would you be able to share some of your so-called power questions that you keep under your belt? You know, in situations like the conversation may seem to not be going anywhere, you whip out these couple of questions and you know it's elevated to a whole new level. Perhaps if you could share some of these power tools, yeah, that would be great. Thank you. Power questions rather. Thanks.
Power questions, yeah, okay. So, okay, in reference to power questions, as such, because we are going to be in the moment with the client, as such, it is not a case of power questions. However, and it depends on at which stage do we need to really bring that up. But for me, okay, the real heart and soul of the power is really, if needed, going back to the drawing board, going back to 3.4, to looking at what really is it that we need to address or explore together so we can achieve an incredible breakthrough for the person in what they want to achieve. That's the first thing, right? So going back to that, so asking them that and partnering with them as well to say, what will be the best way for us to achieve this, right? So sometimes we are not creating breakthroughs because we simply don't have the roadmap to their brain. So we want to partner with our clients. So the power is in the process, is what I would say. And yes, I do have, and I'm happy to share a slide with some questions that I share with my clients who I'm training, but they are at the beginning stage, yeah? So I'm very happy to share that with you right now. But I think more than that, what will help you at a more generic level and in any situation is to look at why are we not creating a breakthrough here? What's really going on? What really are some things that are underlying things that need to be addressed that we can talk about that will help us create that breakthrough? So going back to 3.4 marker, right? And then creating clarity on that. What specifically shall we focus on? Why is that important? And what specifically do you want to achieve in this? And then how do we go about this? So partnering with them to do that and following that through. Yeah. So let me bring up the slide with some power questions here. Okay. But this is quite high level actually. So it's not even questions at the moment, it's just stages. So how do I do this? Because these slides are not showing up on the presentation. 1 second. Let me unshare this, unhide this, here is here. Okay. Where is the PowerPoint gone? 1 second, please. I'm just doing a screen share. Yep, there it is. Got it. So, okay, so can I just check at what particular stage are you referring to?
Not able to see this.
Sorry, say that again.
It's okay now. Now I can see.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was just going to ask Lei. Lei has asked some really amazing questions today. So thank you very much for your contribution, by the way. And I'm sure this is very helpful for everyone. So Lei, these are not questions. This is more about looking at, really creating awareness at current realities and future realities. So what are some of your current realities, both internal and external? And by this, earlier we talked about inner narrative coaching, right? So when we talk about current realities, when I use the word realities, I mean thoughts, feelings, values, emotions, assumptions, ways of being, patterns of thinking, right? What we say to ourselves about ourselves, what we say to ourselves about other people, or whatever goals we have. So all of those inner realities, right? So getting clarity on that, right? So the real power is in really getting clarity with people on getting this inner landscape understood. And also external reality. So how does this internal reality create the external reality for us, which is that, oh, I don't exercise, or that I procrastinate too much, or I'm arguing, or I'm fighting, or anger, or whatever it is, with the teams. So how does the inner reality create the external reality? Getting clarity on that, right? And it's less about the question, and it's more about the intent we're trying to deliver there, And then getting clarity with the client, so asking them questions to help them create clarity on future reality. So ideally, where would you like your future to be? So this kind of behavior from the coach will help you really demonstrate a lot of the awareness markers. So what are some external realities that you want, right? So how would you like your end outcomes to be? And for that to happen, what are some ways of thinking, feeling, believing that we need to work on at an internal level? So awareness of future internal realities. What internal landscape do we need to create in the future for you to automatically have that external reality come true, right? Because we are a sum of all of our thoughts, feelings, inner mindset, inner narratives, and landscape, right? And because we're a sum of that, we want to work at the roots level. And then looking at what are some future ways of achieving that outcome. And then sharing observations around that. So in a sense, in between the lines, what I'm doing here is going through all the markers, right? So if I have a pen, I don't think I'll be able to write anything on it easily. But so this is basically 7.1, okay? PCC marker 7.1, internal and external current reality, 7.1. The future is 7. I think this one is 3. This is 7.2, right? And then this is 7.4. And this is 7.5. Yeah, so these are all PCC markers, basically. 7.5. Yeah. So the markers are there, and this is the intent of the marker, and the questions that you would ask for each of these markers to really create powerful questions and breakthroughs for people is to ultimately stretch their mind, take them to a place where they are not currently at mentally, right? Because at a real level, at a life level, they want to achieve something that they don't currently have. So because of that, we want to create that inner landscape clarity and help them create a futuristic way of thinking. Like, what is the future lay going to, what does the future lay need to think and feel? Right? So there was a lovely lady earlier who so beautifully and vulnerably shared her current reality. And thank you for sharing, your current situation and pain with us. And, as I shared, I'm with you on it, and I've been there, done it, and I felt the same things before. So you could use this, and if you get a chance to get coached, then you can use this with so if somebody is coaching you, they can use this with you, or you can do this for yourself to look at the lady who was really vulnerable, that, what are your current realities? What are some of the inner thoughts that you say to yourself? When we say that I'm not feeling confident about something, what are some of those inner thoughts? And if you can see somebody else who is confident, what are their inner thoughts? So creating that future way of thinking. And how do I bridge that gap? What's it going to take for me to bridge that gap? And also creating that awareness of these current inner thoughts, what impact is it having on me? So people are not always ready to create a futuristic way of thinking, but actually creating awareness of these ways of inner thinking, the way I'm thinking right now and what impact it's having on me. So just creating that awareness of what impact is that having on you right now? What kind of a feeling is it creating? What kind of a future is it creating if we continue to think like this? And once they are fully cognizant and aware of that, okay, you know what, all of these ways of thinking are just not helping me, and I do need to rewrite the way I think, that's when we can start asking questions around, so what could be that new way of thinking, feeling, believing, okay? And also here, in the internal realities versus external, we can challenge assumptions. So some people make assumptions that, you know, there was a business owner that I was coaching, and her thing was that I really want to do podcasts, but I have an issue with any kind of sales and marketing and podcasts. And her issue, ultimately, when we went through the deep awareness phase, turned out to be that if I'm any good, people will come to me automatically. Now, this was a statement she just said, right? If I'm any good, people will come to me automatically. And if I go to people and reach out to people, that means in her head, she feels that she's not good enough, right? And you can straight away see how that inner narrative is going to stop a person from doing any sales, marketing, content marketing, podcasts, etc. Right? That's really going to block them. So they may have everything, they may have a lot of content to share, but their inner belief is that I cannot share because if I'm any good, I shouldn't. Right? And then we looked at where that came from and what needs to happen for her to shift that. And I challenged her, saying that how many successful companies do you know who have this belief as part of their marketing strategy? Right? And virtually none. You look at Nike, Coca-Cola, Samsung, whoever, yeah, Apple, all of them advertise, right? So she, just by asking her that stretching question that challenges her assumption and her belief system, she realized that her belief system was completely redundant and something that she really could not honor. And she changed her belief system. Now she has 2 to 3 books published, and she has a consistent newsletter and a podcast. And she's happy with that. Yeah. Okay, so does that answer your question, Lei? Because I'm not into 101 questions. And yes, I do have all the 101 questions, but I truly feel that we have to be in the moment with people rather than 101 questions, because 101 questions is not gonna be dancing in the moment with the person, right? Being where the client is.
Spoken like a true experienced coach, Avni. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Lei. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
So I think,
thank you.
Yeah, I think time's up for us. And so thank you so much, Coach Avni. And I said, wow, so many nuggets to take away, right? From this very interesting and interactive session. So I'm sure many of us now feel more confident to forge on our coaching journey. So once again, thank you, Coach. Right. So we've come to the, yeah. So now we have heard the master coaches share their invaluable insights, experiences, and perspectives, which I'm sure you find all very beneficial. We thank the wonderful coaches and all of you present here for making this event an inaugural success for MEC. Let us all give ourselves a thumbs up. Yeah, right. And for these amazing coaches too, 2 thumbs up. Thank you very much. We have now come to the close of this event, but to continue the excitement of NCW, we shall see you in the next NCW event for coaching opportunities tomorrow at Menara AIA and the Fireside Chat on Friday. Till then, cheers to all. But before you exit, can you please give a minute to ST to have a word on the feedback form? ST, over to you.
Hi, everyone. You guys can see the QR code. Welcome to feedback on today's session. So I'll leave it for a moment.
You scan the QR code, isn't it? And do the feedback, yeah.
Only short questions, short 3 questions. And you can leave us some comments. Do you have any? Everyone very busy.
So once you have done that, go and have your lunch.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you for being here and thank you for your very active participation. I'm so grateful and I've learned so much from Mike and it's just a pleasure to be here with you all. Thank you.
Staying connected, Avni. Thank you.
Bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Avni. Appreciate
Thank
your
you,
time
Nancy.
sharing.
Thank you so much,
pleasure.
Ashley. Very insightful. Thank you. Take care,
Thank you, Lei.
everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All the
Bye-bye.
best in your book publishing.
And yeah,
Thank you very
looking
much.
forward to that, Avni. Hopefully it
Let's
comes
come
to
over to
Malaysia
see.
shores. Yeah. Come over to Malaysia to do that promo too.
Yes, I will be there and I would love to count on all your support to really be there with me,
Definitely.
partnering with me on that. I would love that. Thank
Definitely.
you.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
the
Okay.
best.
Bye-bye, everyone. Take
Thank
care.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody. Keep in touch. I'll stay till the end, Lugia, just to say hello to you. I think,
You've spoken
you
a
know,
lot today. Very good stuff.
thank you.